Hello, 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 everyone. I'm disturbedcanon, you could call me Disturbed, and today we're going to be doing something weird and dumb, and I don't think will work very well, but we're going to be trying Pioneer Mill, and we've got the list in front of us. You can see it is ridiculously cheap. Let's pull it up on MTGO. Let's bring my squid back out. My squid got minimized. That's okay, though. Here it is on MTGO. It is... Well, it's definitely different than modern mill would be. We are lacking the good little crabby crabs that we would have if it were in modern. But instead, we've got some almost good cards. We've got some Tome Scours, mill 5. We've got some Overwhelmed Apprentice, mill 2, but we get to scry 2, so that's good. We've got Drowned Secrets, mill 2 anytime we cast a blue spell, which every single spell we have is blue, so just anytime we cast a spell. Manic Scribe, which is mill 3 immediately, and then mill 4 each turn after that. Hopefully. I mean, it won't be hard for us to get Delirium, which this requires. Wall of Lost Thoughts, that's just a Defender 0/4 that says mill 4. Drown in the Lock, best removal / counterspell in any deck, let alone a mill deck. Fraying Sanity, MVP of the deck. The entire reason we're building this, it doubles our mill essentially. So if we mill 13 off Startled Awake, we mill another 13 off Fraying Sanity. It's just great. Ashiok Dreamrender, Graveyard Hate in the main deck, and mill 4. Just awesome. We've got Startled Awake, I already showed you that. That mills 13. Trying not to bump the mic there. Mills 13, and it has the potential to essentially do a bad flashback. You can cast it as a creature for 5, and if the creature deals damage, you get Startled Awake back in your hand. So it's got a bad flashback attached to it. I don't know that we're ever going to use that, but the 4 mana mill 13 is really what it's in here for. We've got Mill Jace, aka 0 mill 10. That's repeatable mill, and we can use it as card draw if we need it to. So perfect. And then into the story, 4 mana, draw 4 cards anytime that we would cast it at instant speed, so we can do it on our opponent's turn with counterspell mana up. It's great. It's just a great draw card in a mill deck. Then we've got a bunch of counterspells and Winds of Rebuke as a bounce spell. We've got Crypt Incursion, more Graveyard Hate that gains us life, good for aggro. Fatal Push, removal, Cry of the Carnarium, board wipe. We've got everything that we could want. Interesting part about this deck is we've got 12 deserts. We're running 12 main deck deserts, which is a weird thing to do in most decks, but we're abusing the fact that all the deserts say sacrifice a desert, not sacrifice themselves. So we've got Scavenger Grounds as instant speed exile, instant speed Graveyard Hate, as a way to deal with maybe some of the worst offenders of maybe deal with a Titan or something. Just a good way to handle things like that. We've got Ipnu Rivulet, just a little extra mill that we can put in as a lands. If near Deadlands, we're never going to activate its desert ability. We're just going to sacrifice it to our other deserts, as it is a desert. That's the entire purpose behind the If Near Deadlands. It also produces black mana, which is useful for our Drown in the Lock, but that's about it. And for our sideboard cards primarily. So that's the plan for the deck. Hopefully we win a couple games. I don't expect to. I expect to win games, not matches. Let me put it that way. And I'm excited, though. It's going to be great. First matchup, we're fighting against Rounded Pegasus 9. Good luck to Rounded Pegasus. I lost the die roll, which is a sad face, but let's see what we got here. Fraying Sanity, I like that. Ashiok. We'll keep this. I think we'll lead on the Tome Scour to turn on a Drown. No, we'll lead on the Overwhelmed Apprentice so that the Tome Scour becomes a mill 10 when we get Fraying Sanity out. So we'll just F6 through our opponent's turn right now. See what they want to do here. Island. Go. Okay. Do I want to shock the watery grave? I don't think I'm going to yet. I'm just going to play the island, play the overwhelmed apprentice, mill our opponent, scry 2. Let's see what's on top of the library. We've got Ipnu Rivulet, which we've got 2 lands. We highest CMC is 3, so we'll put Wall of Lost Thoughts on top and Ipnu Rivulet on bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent's turn. So our opponent milled a Censor and an Aether Gust, so they're going to be some kind of control. Weird to see a main deck Aether Gust. That's usually a sideboard card, but you know, whatever. I'm into it. I'm just going to play an Ifnir Deadlands and pass the turn, keeping up Drown in the Lock. I expect our opponent's going to try and cast something. I'm not even going to attack. We're not going to win through combat damage. Just the highest power among creatures we control is 1. It's not going to happen. So our opponent is passing the turn back to us. We're not even going to... I'm going to play the Watery Grave tapped. Do I want to play the Wall of Lost Thoughts just to eat a counter spell? I think I do. I should have shocked the Watery Grave to play around Censor. That's my bad. Looks like it doesn't matter though. Let's go ahead and mill the opponent for 4. I want to get this Fraying Sanity out, and that's really what I'm concerned about. Hit a Treasure Cruise. That's good to see. Good to see them not having that. Opponent is tapping out for a Nimble Obstructionist. Okay, so they're main decking that presumably for the Dimir combo deck that's been going around. The one we built our own version of rather recently. So let's see, our opponent has 6 cards in graveyard, so this doesn't quite cost 4 yet. Alright, what do we want to do here? Do I just have to run the Fraying Sanity out? I don't want to. Let's Overwhelmed Apprentice. Try to find a land to put on top. Hit an Essence Scatter an island from them. Let's see. What do we want? I really want a land, so I think I'm just going to bottom both of these. And then pass the turn. Because if we don't hit lands, then we're kind of screwed. I'm just attacking for the sake of it at this point. Poking for 1. Sending a message. Nimble Obstructionist. I think we have to counter that. It's just going to deal so much damage. We've got another Drown in the Lock coming that we can use to kill this one. And while they're tapped out is the opportunity to use it, really. We're not really concerned about their creatures. They don't run enough of them that it's a problem. And we've only got the 4 removal spells, but we know that... Oh, we're not drawing a Drown in the Lock. I put that in the bottom. I don't know why I thought I was. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Startled Awake. That is not a land. Why is that not a land? Alright, well, let's get in for 2, I guess. And then I feel like I have to play Fraying Sanity. I know that they have a counterspell. There's no way they don't. But there's nothing else I can do here. They might not counter it. Who knows? Nope, they're going to counter it. Spell Pierce. Ugh, and that's just insulting. This is definitely not going to be a good matchup. We're really hoping to hit something like Sultai Delirium. Ah, and they have a third nimble obstructionist. Wow. Oh, that's just painful. That is just painful. No set. Okay. And they get to look at a card. What do they grab here? They grab... Oh, we don't get to see it. Right? No, we get to see it. What did they grab? I guess maybe we don't. Thought we got to see it. Yeah, you have to reveal. So did they just not reveal? I guess they didn't take anything. How interesting. Well, that's an island. It might be too late, though. I think we have to into the story here, hope that they don't counter it, to try and find something that we can do. Nope. Okay. That's game. That's all we got. Alright. I don't feel like we really should be bringing in cries here. I feel like that's probably not right. Negates definitely need to come in. Negates would be wonderful. Crypt Incursion does nothing. Fatal Push does something. I feel like they're going to bring in more creatures. Fatal Push can't hit a Nimble Obstructionist unless we lose something. Unless we get Revolt somehow. So I think we bring in Cry of the Carnarium. Let's see, what do we want to cut? Drown in the Lock is great. Let's see. Probably want to cut the Jace. Let's cut 2 Jaces. Because those are just easy to hit. We don't really need the Graveyard Hate, but Ashiok actually... If we resolve an Ashiok, it's good. Startled. This is actually probably a good matchup for Startled Awake, because it's likely that we'll be able to... well, it's likely that we will be stuck with nothing in hand and only Startle Awake in the graveyard. Let's see, a wall. Actually, let's cut several walls. They don't do anything in the matchup because they can't block. Alright, let's submit. The thing about mono blue control is that every creature they have can fly. I would love to play first. Please and thank you. You know, this isn't bad. If we can resolve this Fraying Sanity, we're probably doing pretty good. Otherwise, meh. But if we can resolve the Fraying Sanity, we're doing pretty good. Our opponent mulligans to 6. Let's see him mulligan to 5, please. Mulligan to 5, mulligan to 5. Please and thank you. Please and thank you, opponent. Please mulligan. Ugh. Haven't made the decision. Really thinking about it. Okay, they kept 6. We're going to play the Choked Estuary. Reveal the island past turn. Fake holding something up for the sake of it. And I'm going to manually hit OK on all this to really make him feel it. Okay. Past turn again. Don't know if this cry is going to be useful, but we'll see. They get to opt on our end step. And they just pass the turn back, as they do. As they are wont to do. Problem is, everything they cast is flash. I'm just going to try and resolve Fraying Sanity now, hoping that they haven't found a counterspell. I don't know if that's right. Yeah, it's... no, we'll not pay. I can't pay for that. Problem is, this is definitely a quantity deck. We need all the cards we can have. So... losing something like Fraying Sanity is huge. 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 But our opponent's gonna get to look at a lot of cards through their opts, through their instant speed spells, and there's not much that we can do to stop them because they're able to sit there and wait for us to do whatever we want to do and then stop us from doing that. We don't have enough high impact spells in this matchup to do much. I think this is just over and done with already. I do like their Amonkhet lands though, just gotta say that. Well, let's go ahead and try to startle them. Wake up. Wake up, opponent. It's time for school. Time for school, opponent. I can't believe Startled Awake was a mythic. No, I can't pay. Like, what about Startled Awake screams mythic? 4 mana mill 13. I guess in the limited format that's actually pretty big because 13 is a lot out of a 40 card deck. Well, we've got Into the Story. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to Tome Scour so that I can try and resolve this Into the Story next turn. There we go. I'm not really familiar with what my opponent's win cons are. It kind of seems like they're... So far we've just seen them try to beat down with Nimble Obstructionist. Do you have a counter spell, my opponent? Sensor doesn't do it. Okay. Cycling Sensor doesn't do it. I don't want to die to bird beats again. Not if I can help it. They're gonna pass the turn with 6 untapped mana. Got 3 cards in hand. It's impossible to say what I should do here. I feel like I just have to do it now. This is probably wrong. Somebody who's better at Magic than me probably would know not to do it now, but I don't know when else to do it. Oh, it has instant. I could do it on their instep, but they've never passed the turn with tapped mana, so it doesn't matter either. I don't know. They're definitely going to counter it. They're going to Field of Ruin my Choked Estuary. Alright. Take me off of a black source, so I can't cast the Cry in my hand. But they didn't play around Spell Pierce. Okay. They're right in thinking I don't have Spell Pierce, but they should have played around Spell Pierce. Because I absolutely could have Spell Pierce instead of Negate. That might have been a better choice, honestly. Yep. You go, girl. They're going to play another set? Or another Nimble Obstructionist, okay. Well, if we draw a black source, we can Cry and kill them both. That would be great. Ashiok. Ashiok is not a black source. Contrary to popular belief, it is not a black source. I'm going to kill one of the Obstructionists while I can. And pass the turn holding up Negate. I probably should have Spell Pierce instead of Negate. Don't know how big of a deal that's going to end up being, but... Well, our opponent is officially out of cards. Ooh, and we get to draw some. I like to draw. Drawing cards is my favorite thing to do in Magic. Ugh. Not even a colored source. How interesting. I wanted a black, but we didn't even get an island. Opponent still has no cards in hand. Gonna cast Memory from the graveyard. Yep. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into the library, then draws 7 cards. That's unfortunate for me. That's unfortunate. I knew that it had another mode, I just didn't remember what it actually said, and unfortunately, that's what that says. But hey, we do get to try, if we... Yeah, we have a land. So we can go ahead and... Fraying Sanity you. I imagine that gets counterspelled. Nope. Well, now we get to go ahead and Fraying Sanity you. I imagine that gets counterspelled. They're in the tank about this one. They're really thinking. They're gonna spell pierce it. Okay. No, we can't pay. Well, we got down a Fraying Sanity, so that's something. Now that we know that they have memory, that's a problem. Like a significant problem. But at least Fraying Sanity acts as some passive mill for us, and it improves our already existing mill. Yeah, they should have opted... They should have cast their first opt with the Fraying Sanity trigger on the stack. I think. Nope. It didn't matter. Okay. Interesting to note, though. Alright, so they're gonna Supreme Will to find something. Don't have to reveal it to us, but whatever. Gonna tie my shoe. Shoe's untied. Just announcing everything. Everyone's benefit. Alright, tap in lots of mana. Hieroglyphic Illumination. Alright. This is each player's upkeep, right? Each instep, yeah. We might get them to mill themselves out. That'd be cool. That'd be good. Alrighty then. So, we need to Drown in the Loch this. And gonna hold up negate for anything they try to counter it with. Oh, and they don't even try to counter it. Awesome. That works for me. Well, I guess let's Wall of Lost Thoughts, or do we want to hit ourselves with Wall of Lost Thoughts to turn on Manic Scribe? Let's play Manic Scribe and we'll make that decision later. I'll have to think about this one for a minute. They're going to counter it, so it doesn't matter what we cast. Nimble Obstructionist. I guess they're not going to counter it. Alrighty then. Opponent mills another 4. They've got 11 lands on the battlefield. Living it up over there. The one not full Amon Cat land is bothering me, gotta say. Alright, they get to put 0 cards from their library into their graveyard. An Ipnu Rivulet. Still can't play this Cry of the Carnarium. Them taking me off that Choked Estuary is actually like a real problem. Well, let's go ahead and Wall of Lost Thoughts myself, if they'll let me. They're going to Essence Scatter. I think I have to counter that. I'm going to target myself with it. Try to get a couple more card types in graveyard. 5 card types, that works. We can't cast Startled Awake, but we do have Delirium, and that's what's important here. They're going to Nimble Obstructionist, countering the Fraying Sanity trigger. Oh, no, they're not, because they don't cycle it. They're just putting us down to no time on the clock is what they're doing. They mill 1. They're going to mill another 3 here. Yep. They do that. I'm hoping they don't have any more commit to memories, because that's in exile now. But we shall see. I would like a black source of mana, please, game. I'll take even a desert. I know it'll bring... If I draw a desert, it'll bring me down to 1, but at least I can try to cry of the Carnelium. Watery Grave actually is not what I want here, because I'll go down to 0. Alright, opponent Treasure Cruises. Draws 3. Down to 15 cards in library. Trying to find a commit to memory, I think. Or another Nimble Obstructionist to just finish us off. They have all the mana in the world. If they have counterspells, we're dead. Because we only have the 1 negate. And just so you know why I didn't negate that Treasure Cruise is... If I draw the Black Desert, whatever it's called, if near Deadlands, then I need to be able to take a damage in order to cast my Cry. Well, that's a thing. What's the opponent going to flash back here is the question. There's not much they can flash back that's a real problem except Cycle Rift, but they can't overload Cycle Rift. So they're just going to be bouncing like Fraying Sanity. Yep. Well, I do actually have to counter that, and I have to just hope for something. I don't know what, but I can't. If I lose Fraying Sanity here, it's game over. Unfortunately. I have a couple outs right now if I draw something that can mill them for the rest of their library, which that is not. Alright, is there anything we can do here? Well, we can exile the graveyard. We can mill them for 4, 6, 12. We can actually mill them out here. That's interesting. Let's see if my opponent lets me resolve Overwhelmed Apprentice. We actually have lethal here. Yeah, okay. Bottom, top, if we can ever resolve it. Sack a desert. Milieu, sacking the scavenger grounds. And then, just to be safe, let's go ahead and sack another scavenger grounds to exile your graveyard. Wait. Nope. Undo, undo, undo. I can't do that. Nope. Cancel. If I do that, exile all cards from all graveyards. I won't have Delirium, so Manic Scribe won't trigger. I just have to pass here. Memory isn't instant, so I can actually... Yay! Okay. So I can actually do things in response. What do I want to do here now? I can't believe I won that. I think I just run it back the same way. Upset that I have negate, not spell pierce, but whatever. I can't believe I won that. That was weird. That's what I expect to do, though. I expect to win like a couple games, not any matches. And I expect them all the games that I win to be close like that. Most of the games are going to be a true blowout. Only the games I win are going to be close. I can't keep any of these. Yeah, I can keep that. Cry to the bottom. Drown in the lock to the bottom because I have no way to cast it yet. Done. F6 through their turn. I don't even have a land yet. Land. Pass. I might drown. I'm going to cast Drown Secrets next turn either way, but I might use the Drown Secrets trigger from the Manic Scribe cast on myself. If they let me resolve anything, you know. You know how that goes. I'm just going to hit F6 now. I can't do anything. Nope. F6. Let them do things. They play an island and they pass. They found the one poorly colored one. Let's go ahead and just Manic Scribe here. See if I can get it resolved. Nope. Essence Scatter. Okay. Opponent plays a land. Oh, we get an If Near Deadlands. That's something. Well, let's try to Startled Awake. See if they'll let us do that. They've got memory in their deck, so I don't even know how we win at this point. We got lucky last time that we were able to fight over the right pieces. And that they essentially milled themselves out because they kept casting opts and things into our Fraying Sanity. Yep, that's okay. No, we won't pay. We can get Startled Awake back, so that's actually not a huge loss. This is the only matchup where Startled Awake's secondary ability matters. But we do need a 5th land in order to do that. So, you know, 6 and 1. Upkeep. They're gonna, on my upkeep, they're gonna cast something. Interesting. They're gonna draw 2 on my upkeep. Interesting. We can't cast anything, but it's still interesting. I don't want to sack this If Near Deadlands to mill them yet because I need to be able to get the Startled Awake back. Scavenger Grounds, Startled Awake. I only need 2 blue sources, so I'm going to tap these for colorless. Pass the turn. I wish I could do that at instant speed, but it does specify sorcery only, so, you know, whatever. It's not even a May ability. I have to return it to my hand if it deals combat damage. Alright, they're going to Torrential Gearhulk. I can neither counter nor destroy that yet with Drown in the Lock. They've got a decent little value engine going. They're gonna get in for 5. I can block and then just get Persistent Nightmare back. I think I don't, though. I think I just take it. Because now what I can do is I can Ipnu Rivulet and then Drown in the Lock at instant speed. So what do I need to do that? So I need, let's say, these 2. Yeah, okay, so I can do it now anyway. So I'm going to play the Watery Grave tapped. Attack with Persistent Nightmare to get it back to my hand. Gonna pass the turn. They're gonna opt. Put 1 on top, unfortunately. Pay 4 mana. I assume hieroglyphic illumination again. 3. Nimble Obstructionist. Well, in response. Oh, undo. Undo. First I have to mill you, sacrificing the Scavenger Grounds. Then I have to Drown in the Lock, destroy target creature, kill the Torrential Gearhulk if I can. They're not going to let me. Dispel. Alright. Well, that was my chance. that was the best opportunity I was going to get. Because they weren't going to cast anything else. And once the Obstructionist resolved, they were just going to pass and untap. There wasn't another opportunity. So I think this is just over now. There's not much else we can do. I don't think we have any outs at all. Let's try. Let's see what we can find. Nothing, because they're going to counter it? Yep. Alright, that happened. That was just truly bad. Kind of what was expected, but you know. I would love to play first. Good luck to my opponent, Woobwigan. I believe I said that correctly. I will keep this. Choked Estuary, reveal the island, not do anything else, make them think I have a counterspell. I'm going to see if I can't just Fraying Sanity, Overwhelmed Apprentice, and mill them out for a bunch. Bowmat Courier. Okay, that might not be the best option then. I might want to just throw down an Overwhelmed Apprentice as a way to block, discourage them from doing things. Watery Grave tapped, play the Overwhelmed Apprentice. So Shivan Reef, Bowmat Courier is what we know about. Then Darksteel Relic, Shivan Reef. Okay, so they're going to be Affinity. Don't need the 5th land yet. I'll keep Fraying Sanity. That might be wrong. Whatever. Who knows? So we're looking at Affinity. That's a... Aggro is not going to be our best matchup. Control is not going to be our best matchup. Woodmill, nothing's our best matchup. Sultai Delirium. Sultai Delirium is our best matchup. They're doing most of the work for us. That's going to be pretty much the only thing that we have any chance against here. Ghost Fireblade. Equip Ghost Fireblade. Yep. I'm just going to chump here. There's no point not doing that. It saves me 3 damage here. Gets me a card in the graveyard for Delirium later, maybe. Alright, so we're just gonna... Fraying Sanity. Put 0 cards into your graveyard, opponent. This many Fraying Sanities will make our mill plan work really well. But our life total is super relevant, and I don't like that. So they're getting in for 5 here. That's a lot, if you didn't know. Yep. Down to 14. They put 0 cards into their graveyard. Ipnu Rivulet, that's cool. That's a cool card. That's Fraying Sanity on our opponent. Pass the turn. They put 0 cards into their graveyard and 0 cards into their graveyard. Always yield. Opponent's having a hard time deciding how to respond to us not milling anything. Fraying Sanity is both the best and the worst mill card, I think, as a general rule. They're going to Ensoul the Ginger Brute, get in for 9 here. That means we're dead. We're dead with no outs. So let's see. So they're going to mill 4, 8, 16. That's just not enough. 4, 8, 16, yep. Well, we know what we're bringing in, at least. Cry the Carnarium and Fatal Push, for sure. Scavenger Grounds does not do it. We're just going to concede before they see any more. Alright. Well, just all the black cards. Crypt Incursion. Do we want to bring in Crypt Incursion? We might want to bring in Crypt Incursion. Let's do that. Let's do it. Why not? What's the harm? Really, what's the harm? Well, Ashiok doesn't do a whole lot. They're not using their graveyard. It does mill us 4, and it is repeatable mill. There's that. Wall of Lost Thoughts, Manic Scribe is great. Drowned Secrets does nothing. Tome Scour does little. Startled Awake does less. I think I bring back in a Tome Scour. Run it back like that. Oh, mana's a little tight for the Cry of the Carnarium. Yes, I would love to play first, please and thank you. Oh. It's really tight when we only draw 1 land. Mulligan that. Yeah, we'll keep that. It's pretty painful, but I don't want to mulligan again. No, I have to mulligan, because I need a removal spell. Fine, I'll keep this. Dang. Not gonna do well this game, I don't think. We're gonna play an island, pass a turn. Nothing to do on turn 1. We have a couple creatures that can block, which is something. They can't block flying creatures. Thanks, opponent. Let's Manic Scribe. Pass turn. Hit a Skilled Animator, Shrapnel Blast, and Bowmat Courier. Hopefully we help them hit a land there. Hit a Mutavault. Alright. They're going to fire up the Mutavault? No, they're going to Ghost Fire Blade and equip it. Get in for 3 flying damage. If we can draw a black source, this Crypt Incursion represents some health. So that's something. Watery Grave, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to Watery Grave tapped, and I'm going to Wall of Lost Thoughts. On them. I debated doing it on myself, but I need 4 different types. I'm only milling 4 cards. So I'd most likely get at least 1 duplicate. At which point I would need to hit myself with Ashiok as well, and then I'm looking at losing 8 cards out of their library. 8 potential mill cards. For a potential return in the future of 3 per turn. So I'd have to have Manic Scribe for 3 more turns after that. Unlikely overall is what I'm trying to say. A removal spell would be absolutely wonderful here if we could please draw one of those. Because they're putting everything on that Hope of Girapur, and I'm hoping for something to do to stop that. They make a 1/1 Stone Coil. Fraying Sanity, alright, we'll cast that. It's something. And we'll pass the turn. Crypt Incursion represents a little bit of life, not a whole lot. At the moment, it only represents 6 extra life. Puts us at a virtual 18. Opponent plays Bomat Courier. Opponent fires up a Mutavault. They get in for 6. Gonna block like this. Take 6, go 2/6. Put 0 cards in my opponent's graveyard. Ipnu Rivulet. Alright. Well, I think we have to fire off this Crypt Incursion. I don't think there's much else we can do. I was hoping we would draw a removal spell there. At this point, I'll take Nifnir Deadlands. We're just waiting for our opponent to find an animate effect, really, or a blue land, most likely, because they're stuck on colorless. They play another Bomat Courier. I imagine fire up Mutavault. Fire up Mutavault. Attack in for 7. Yep. Always yield to those. That's fine. Block. 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 Yep. Oh, wait. No, fuck. I didn't hit. There we go. Crypt Incursion. Oh, shit. Concede. Fuck. I hit myself. I hit myself instead of them. Doesn't matter. Wasn't going to win that anyway. Moving too fast. Got a little scared. Good luck to my opponent, G. Bosley. Gabosley. Good luck to them. Feeling like they have the better chance here. Do I want to keep this? I got nothing going on. I mean, I've got all the lands. I can cast Startled Awake when I get to it. Can cast Ashiok. Can cast Overwhelmed Apprentice. Overwhelmed Apprentice can find me things. I'll keep it. Opponent goes first. They play an untapped Hallowed Fountain. Shock for 2. Representing a counterspell. They want a Mystical Dispute my Overwhelmed Apprentice. They can do that. I don't care. They've got Teferi and Glacial Fortress in their graveyard. Okay. Don't need the island. Do I want to keep the Ashiok? Let's not. I imagine we're not going to keep our Ashiok, the one that we have here. I imagine they'd counter that in a heartbeat. But I'd rather find something that presents a lot more mill overall than Ashiok. I suppose technically Ashiok presents 20 cards of mill over 5 turns. I'm just going to Tome Scour them now. No point in not. So now we're up against blue-white control. What? Okay, they just scoop. I'm going to count that as a win. Screw you, fight me. I'm counting that as... Okay, leave event. Leave event. Leave match. Not you. We're going to create our own. We're going to have beer and hookers. In fact, screw the match. What's going on here? You go back over to where you belong. I would love to play first. Good luck to our opponent. Burval's 13. Drowned Secrets. Nothing else we can cast. Do we keep this? I want to keep this. I want to keep this so bad. No, I think we have to mulligan. We'll keep this though. This is good. We'll put... What do we put back? I guess we put back the Ipnu Rivulet because we're going to get some scries to look for something else. Some more lands. My opponent... Sorry for that. Gonna play Watergrave, untapped. Yep. Going to tap it, make an overwhelmed apprentice. Look for a land, hopefully. None of those are lands. Have to put both on bottom. I just can't take something that isn't a land at this point. I need to hit my 3rd and 4th lands. So what does my opponent have in graveyard? Sulphur Falls and Hypersonic Dragon. Flying Haste. You may cast sorcery spells as if they had flash. That's spicy. Okay. Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Nope, tapped. Okay, sorry. So the opponent is going to be Jeskai Flash, it looks like. Or Jeskai something or other. Gonna play the Ipnu Rivulet. Gonna play the Overwhelmed Apprentice. Take a deeper peek at my opponent's library. See what they have up their sleeves. Keranos, that's spicy. Well, let's see. Let's put on top in that order. Let's get in for combat. For 1 combat damage, send a message. Pass the turn. So they're running Keranos, which is usually used as a win condition in prison decks, as it's just a 1 lightning bolt a turn. Interesting. So we're gonna play this, run the Fraying Sanity into our opponent, see if they want to counter it, see if they can. They want to if they can. That's what we're at right now. Alright. Gonna attack in for 2. Send a message. We're here to fight. We're here to take you down, opponent. Down to 17. They put 0 cards into the graveyard. I'm just going to F6 through their turn. There's nothing I want to do, nothing I can do. Don't even have an untapped thing. They play an Inspiring Vantage. Go to their instep. Well, let's go ahead and run this Startled Awake into their face if they'll let us. If they would be so kind. Attempt to mill them for 13. Looks like they're going to try and counter it. Yep, they're going to ionize. Okay. That's cool with me. That's fine. Gonna get in for 2. They mill 1 off our Fraying Sanity. Losing Torrential Gearhulk. Oh, I'm sure they wanted that. They're 1 card in graveyard away from us being able to cast this into the story. Let's see, Island. Okay. Well, let's go to combat. Can't deal with our creatures, opponent. Gonna beat you down with 1/2s. Gonna play the island. Gonna pass the turn. I'll probably end up sacking this if near Deadlands to mill them with the Ipnu Rivulet. Mill them for 8 on their end step. Or second main, probably. In order to... Let's actually put a stop on their second main so that I can do that. Well, once Fraying Sanity goes on the stack. They're going to shock the Sacred Foundry. Let's go ahead and mill them. Sack off the Ifnir Deadlands. Mill them for 8 total. Pass the turn. What we get to play is Scavenger Grounds. I'm not going to cast the Into the Story. It looks like they're holding up a counterspell. Gonna get in for 2. Bring them down to 9. Pass the turn. Mill them for 0. This is weirdly entertaining for me. I'm not doing anything, but it's weirdly entertaining. They're gonna try and cast something here. Into the Story being instant speed has a lot of value right now, because I can cast it in response to them tapping out. Thassa's Intervention. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put up to 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay. In response, I'm just going to go ahead and Into the Story. Draw 4. You draw the best 2 of 3, I draw 4. Period. Same mana cost every... 1 less mana cost, actually. Opponent is at 33 cards left in library, which is great for me. I'm happy about it. We've got an Ifnir Deadlands in hand, 2 of them actually, so we can fire off this Ipnu Rivulet a couple more times. Gonna play the Ifnir Deadlands. Do I want to try and resolve this Ashiok? Let's try and resolve the Tome Scour, actually, shouldn't we? I think we don't try to resolve anything. I think we just hold up the Ipnu Rivulet crack. No, let's Tome Scour. See if they have a counterspell they want to burn. Opponent? What do you want to do here? I imagine games 2 and 3 are not going to go as well as this, because I imagine we're not going to draw our Fraying Sanities, and they're just going to blow up the ones we do. Alright, so they ionize. Okay. We lose 2. Well, in that case, let's actually just fire off this Ashiok. Let's give it a shot. You have another counterspell, opponent? What do you got for me? Let's double check, make sure they don't have anything in graveyard we need to worry about. Doesn't look like they do. Let's mill them for 4. 20 cards into exile. Move to combat. Attack. Get in for 2. Bring them down to 5. Mill them for another 5. Pass turn. There we go. They've got a Glorybringer. That's a nice Glorybringer art. I love the MTGO promotional Glorybringer. I love that art. Ashiok's Erasure. That's an interesting one. Silumgar's Scorn I kind of expect to see. Looks like they're playing some kind of weird dragon deck. Glorybringer. Okay. I imagine they're going to kill the Ashiok and an Overwhelmed Apprentice. Yep. No? Maybe? They're gonna exert. Okay, so yeah, they're killing the Ashiok, killing an Overwhelmed Apprentice. Or they're thinking about it anyway. Nope. Trying to make a liar out of me is what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make a liar out of me. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, you do that, man. You do that. Bavarls. Did I say good luck to them? I don't know if I tried to say their name yet, so I don't think I said good luck to them. So good luck to my opponent, Bavarls. They're going to go ahead and kill the Ashiok, kill the Overwhelmed Apprentice. Yep. That happens. That happens. It's fine. Everything's fine. So let's see. I've got 8, 16, 24. But I don't know if I have enough time to do that. Alright, so we draw a card. Drown in the Lock. That's nice. Let's play an Ifnir Deadlands. Count our mana. 3 mana left over. So we can enter this story on their end step. And Ipnu Rivulet. So that's good. Refill our hand. The fact that they exerted the Glorybringer helps us out, actually. It gives us a little bit of extra time before we need to drown in the lock. Allows us to be a little bit more mana efficient, hopefully. Depending on what we draw off this end of the story, but most likely it does. They're just going to pass the turn. With that on the stack, I'm going to go ahead and mill them. Need a blue, there we go. Sack off these scavenger grounds. Doesn't seem like they have things in graveyard I have to worry about. Then I'm going to try and into the story. So what happens now is if they try to counter it, they get another card in graveyard for the Fraying Sanity. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, you know. Well, that's interesting. Actually, we have lethal now, don't we? Because we can Ipnu Rivulet. Let's see, 1, 2, yep. Yeah, we can just kill them now. Opponent. Sack off the Ifnir Deadlands. Opponent. Sack off the Ifnir Deadlands. Lethal Mill. Pass the turn. Let Fraying Sanity trigger. Mill them for 8. Bring them down to -2. They might be about to bounce our Fraying Sanity. I don't know. Alright, well, triggers on the stack. That's over. That's game. Moving to game 2. But like I said, game 2 and 3 are not going to be as easy as this one. Our opponent didn't really do much against us. Didn't try to interact with our board much at all, which is weird. We definitely want to bring in, I guess, Crypt Incursion as a way. Yeah, maybe. Hard to say what our opponent's going to do. Disdainful Strokes. It looks like they're playing some high mana cost dragons. That might be it. That might be all we do. What we cut, though, is the question. So far, I've found that it's kind of hard to figure out what to cut in this deck, because everything feels important. Ashiok's our life gain. Startled Awake. That's a lot of mill, but I think we cut maybe 2 of those. And the Drowned Secrets. Let's run it back like that. See what we can do with that. See how things go from here. I don't think we're going to win this. I think this will be this will be a tough game to win in general. Spilled a little coffee on myself. That's embarrassing. Egg on my face, huh? Egg on my face. Oh, well, shit. Yeah, okay, we'll keep this. This is a good hand-ish. We're not upset about it. If we get this Jace off, we're doing great. If we don't, then we're in a rough spot. So they play a Steam Vince tapped. Then they pass the turn back to us. We're going to go ahead and play the Choked Estuary untapped. Going to go ahead and Overwhelmed Apprentice. Mill them to Scry 2. Yep. Let's see what's on top of their library and ours. They've got a Silmgar's Scorn and a Damping Sphere. I don't know why they brought in Damping Sphere, but whatever. Let's see. Let's put on top, put on top. I want both of those, I think. If we get this Jace off, that Fraying Sanity is going to be super useful. So I don't really know what our opponent's doing. All I've seen is Jeskai Mana Base and Silmgar's Scorn and some Glorybringers. That's what we've seen. They play a Hallowed Fountain tapped. Well, in that case, we're going to go ahead and land. They're not going to be able to cast anything we can Disdainful Stroke, so we might as well just Wall of Lost Thoughts. Target them, mill them for 4. They brought in... Oh, they just brought in a bunch of cards from the sideboard. They have over 60 cards in the library now. They just brought in a bunch of cards in their sideboard. Oh my god, that's great. I have to comment on this. That's great. I love it. You know, that's a strategy. How do you beat a mill deck? Just put more cards in your deck. We see a Heliod's Intervention. Getting rid of the Heliod's Intervention is something because it kills our Fraying Sanity. Alright, our opponent skips straight to their combat step. plays a Spire Buff Canal in main phase 2, and passes the turn. Alright, I don't want to run something. I don't want to run a Fraying Sanity into a counterspell, so I'm just gonna play the New Rivulet, Thread and Cracking it, and move to combat and attack. I feel like they have to be holding up a counterspell at this point. They've got Ionizes and Vetoes and Silumgar's Scorns. They've got plenty of counterspells to hit us with. And we really want this Fraying Sanity to resolve, because that Fraying Sanity represents so much mill. They play a Hallowed Fountain tapped. So we're just going to play the game of passing back and forth until they try to cast something, we Disdainful Stroke, and then resolve Fraying Sanity. That's the plan. So we're just going to poke in for one. They're not running green, so they don't have the uncounterable dragon, and that's the only thing we have to worry about. If we see a Fires of Invention, I suppose we should be concerned. They're going to try and cast something. They're going to Stomp. Okay. That works out great for me, actually. I'm perfectly fine with that. Because now I can Fraying Sanity with relatively little concern. Yeah, there we go. That works out great for me. Stomp is a weird card. It doesn't... Most of the time when we cast when we have Fraying Sanity out, anytime our opponent casts something, it means mill one. It adds mill one to it. Stomp doesn't do that, because Stomp just goes to exile. Alright, so our opponent is... They play a Hallowed Fountain tapped. They're thinking of casting something. They cast the Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. Well, with only one land untapped, I'm tempted to just run this Jace out and zero him to mill for 20. See how that goes. Oh, and we do another one. Perfect. Go ahead and Jace. See what our opponent does. 0, mill for 10. Pass the turn. Bone Crusher Giant not having flying is really helpful here. Always yield. I don't know why I didn't already have that. Oh, always yield. If we had another Fraying Sanity, that probably just would have been close to lethal. Because the first Fraying Sanity would have milled for 10. So 10, 20, 40. They'd be super close to dead. Even now, with them just throwing the whole sideboard into their deck, they're pretty close to running out of cards. I think they literally just put all 15 cards from their sideboard into their deck. Oh, they're going to put Heliod's Intervention on top of their library, so now is the time to mill for as much as we can, which I think we can actually mill for 20 if they tap out here. I mean, mill for 40. Because we can Jace 0, then play Jace 0. Otherwise, we can run the Wall of Lost Thoughts out and then New Rivulet, and that would be another 8. So either way, we're looking at milling a lot. Bringing our opponent really close to dead. So we're, of course, going to just jump with this Wall of Lost Thoughts. It's the only reason it exists, is to stop Bone Crusher Giants from killing us. From killing our Jaces. Yep. Wall of Lost Thoughts dies. Let's see what our opponent wants to do. If they want to cast anything in the second main, nope. Ooh, Ashiok. That's actually kind of cool. Well, okay, let's run this Wall of Lost Thoughts out. See if our opponent's going to counter it. If they do counter it, they put a card in their graveyard. So, I mean, they're saving themselves from milling 6, which is not nothing. Don't get me wrong, that is not nothing. Silum goes Scorn, okay. Do I pay 1 here? I guess I try. Yeah, I guess I try to pay 1. Wall of Lost Thoughts them. So that just added 2 cards to the graveyard is what that did. Mill them for another 10. 15. Alright. Well, now we have to just pass the turn. They mill 15, go down to 9 cards in library. Oh, wait, no, they lose their Heliod's Intervention. I was thinking they were still going to draw it, but yeah, Mystic Sanctuary is absolutely pointless. It just added 1 card to their library. So they're still drawing natural. They're down to 8 cards in library. I think we've pretty much got this in the bag now. I don't think they've got much, because our Jace minuses or zeros and just kills them. We can play another Jace. We can Disdainful Stroke anything they cast here. We can Ashiok, finish them off. Yeah, we're just going to Disdainful Stroke that. No thank you. No thank you, opponent. I don't want to see that card or any other cards from you. Yeah. That's actually a win. That's a fair win. Oh, wow. That's unexpected. That's unexpected. But we did it. Alright. Going into match number 3. Good luck to our opponent. Mako 15. Mako Tsunami from Yu-Gi-Oh? Is this a blue player who's being cheeky? Yeah, we'll keep this. We got the Fraying Sanity, which is our key card here. F6 through our opponent's turn, they're going first. They play a Spirebluff Canal, untapped, play a Bowmat Courier. Oh no. We're dead. Game over. Alright, run out the Overwhelmed Apprentice. Yep. They're Affinity. Exactly what I thought they were. Put both on bottom because I don't need lands. We've got a Drown in the Lock. We can kill the Bowmat Courier. Hopefully they try to Ensoul it here, which would be cool. Nope. They're just going to kill our Overwhelmed Apprentice. Play a Shivan Reef. Play a Ginger Brute. Okay. In that case, we want to hold up the Drown in the Lock so that we can kill whatever they try to Ensoul / equip with a Ghostfire Blade. We draw another Fraying Sanity. That's kind of cool. I like it. Gonna pass the turn though. Hold up this Drown in the Lock to kill something. Kill something. Alright, they're gonna skill the Animator. See what they target. Kill it. They get in for 1 with their Bowmat Courier. That's fine. It's not fine, but it's what it is. There's not much else we can do. Alright. If we can get out these 2 Fraying Sanities and then Startled Awake, we win. Because that's 13, 26, 52, and that would be enough to kill them. So we just have to survive a couple more turns, essentially. I was about to put that on myself for some reason. So we've got a non-zero chance of winning here, but it's close to 0. We need to survive 2 more turns. We need to survive this turn and the next turn. Well, they get in for 2. They can do that. They play a Mutavault. We go down to 13. They mill 0. Upkeep, draw, Ipnu Rivulet. That's cool. Doesn't do anything though, so we're going to go ahead and Fraying Sanity our opponent. The fact that Fraying Sanity stacks is what makes it so powerful. If we have 2 Fraying Sanities out, we get to mill so much extra. We're going to let those resolve, mill opponent for 0. Forgot to hit Always Yield. Oh, okay, they're going to draw 4 off that Bowmat Courier. They play a Dark Steel Citadel. Play a Ginger Brute. Play a Skilled Animator. Oh god, are we gonna win this? Oh god, we won this. Spell Pierce is their only out now. So we go down to 7. 1 turn left on their clock. Always yield. And we're just gonna tell our opponent to wake up. And pass the turn. Mill them for 52. Oh, okay, that was good. Okay, so that happened. That was unexpected. Bring in black cards. What do we take out? Oh, I'm still like, wow, that happened. We got really lucky is what that was, but you know, you take what you can get. I think I cut the Ashioks. I think that's really how we have to play this. I don't think Ashiok does anything in this matchup at all. And we'll just submit it back like that. Oh. Well, we're going into game 2. 1 win under our belt. I don't expect to win anymore, but I'm just happy that we beat Affinity at least once. Okay. Well, our land's hurt, but we can Manic Scribe, we can Wall of Lost Thought. We're not on the play, though, so they get to turn 1, 1 drop, turn 2, and Soul It, get in for 6. We'll be down, then we'll hit ourselves. Yeah, we have to mulligan. This is just too slow. Well, we have black mana. I think we have to keep this. I think we have to. We put the Crypt Incursion back. Hopefully we draw another one later on when we need it. We're going to F6 through our opponent's turn. They play a Mutavault, play a Bowmat Courier, attack for 1. Yep. We go, draw, Watergrave, tapped, pass turn. That's what we got. They play Spire Bluff, Ghost Fireblade, attacking for 3. Yep. I need a removal spell, please, deck. We have a decent amount of them. Except Cry doesn't work anymore, so we only have 6. Never mind. Don't have a decent amount, but whatever. I think I have to run this Drowned Secrets out first. I think that's really our best bet at this point. They play Ginger Brute. Play a Mountain. Play another Ginger Brute. Attacking for 5. Bringing us down to 11. And we draw Startled Awake. Okay. So we have to Wall of Lost Thoughts here. Mill them. Save targets. Always yield. Hit them. Save targets. Always yield. There we go. I suppose I didn't have to save the target for the Wall of Lost Thought, but I do have another one, so it saves me like 1/10 of a second later on. Alright, they go to main phase. They're going to play another Ghost Fireblade. Going to equip it to the same Bowmat Courier. They're going to attack in for a lot. Well, we're going to chump this Bowmat Courier, save ourselves some life. Go down to 9, though. Ooh, we do get to drown in the lock. That'll save us some life, maybe. We're going to pass the turn. Hopefully they try to ensoul the Bowmat Courier. Make that into a 9/9. The Ghost Fire Blade. Equip it to the Ginger Brute. Alright. Alright. Well, with that trigger on the stack, we're going to go ahead and drown and lock that. Stubborn denial. God dang. Yeah, that happens. And we die. Alright, game 3. I think we just run it back. Maybe we cut the cries and bring in wins. Just as a way to kind of kill something as a tempo play. I would love to play first, please and thank you. We've got 2 fatal pushes and nothing else, but we'll keep it. Upkeep, draw, swamp, pass turn. We're not gonna kill that. What? Did they just cast Stone Scoil Serpent for 0 and then Shame Scoop? Okay. We're gonna count that as a win. Screw it. I'm done here. What even was that? Okay, so we somehow pulled out. I mean, I know how. We got 2 people who. We got 1 person who didn't want to play against Mill, and they probably could have killed us, but they didn't. So I count that as a win. We got 1 person who shame scooped to casting a Stone Coil Serpent for 0. So I'm going to count that to a win. Beyond that, do I think this is a good deck? No. No, we pulled out a winning record, but we shouldn't have. If that were a league, if people had paid money for that, then they absolutely would have finished us off for the sake of it. But was it fun? Yeah, it was hilarious. When we got out 2 Fraying Sanities, we did really good. If we could have 4 more Fraying Sanities, I would absolutely play that. Hell, if we could just run all Fraying Sanities, I would just run all Fraying Sanities. A couple monkeys to exile to get them down early, and then just Fraying Sanity, Startled Awake. Mill you for $1 billion. Yeah, that's what I would do if I could. Beyond that, yeah, it was cool. It was fun. Don't know that it's good, but it's hilarious. I love it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I've been Disturbed Canon. You've been awesome. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.